Hello everybody, it's me, WalterTheGermanyBall, and I'm finally back with console conversations after so long. It's probably going to go away for a while again. I'm still figuring out what to do with the series, but we will be finishing up Season 4 in the normal format, and once Season 5 comes along, expect things to change up a little bit. But anyway, so today I want to talk about the Atari VCS. Now, it's been exactly 1 year since I originally talked about this thing, again, and then it's been 2 years since I talked about it for the first time, so it's been a long road, and I thought I'd take another look at it. This time, now that Atari has changed up their marketing a bit, and I've thought about it a lot since my last time talking about it, I realized I was kind of wrong about it. I mean, obviously some things, some of my points I still think are valid, but I think I was wrong. And part of the reason is because Atari has completely changed their marketing. So take a look at this. The all-new Atari VCS, the mini PC designed for the living room. Thousands of games, endless entertainment, and unmatched flexibility. So, basically, the all-new Atari VCS is a mini PC and not a console. Originally, it was shoved down our throats that it was a console a lot. At least from my perspective, I thought for sure this is just a console. Apparently, it's not. Iconic hardware reimagined, the Atari VCS is a sleek, modern mini PC inspired by the company's legendary computers and video game consoles, designed to delight a whole new generation of gamers and creators. So I think the marketing on this has changed. Now it's mostly a PC that you can use for all kinds of things. And that's actually kind of cool. So now I want to take a look at the shop. So let's see what they have to offer here. Atari returns to the living room with the Atari VCS. A completely modern gaming and video computer system blending the best of consoles and PCs. I don't know about that. We'll get back to that later. But, let's take a look. So you're getting $400. You're paying $400 to get the system and 2 controllers. That's not okay, but $300 for just the console? Okay. Because if it's a mini PC, and if it's powerful enough, then theoretically it's the same price as the computer that I have that I'm using to make this video right now, which is relatively powerful and definitely worth $300. So if it has full functionality as a computer and is just as powerful as, say, the one that I have, okay, then that's fine. And then you're paying $480 to get a hat. No. Then the controllers. This is something I still think is dumb. You're paying $60 for this controller. You know what's $70? The DualSense. You know what's $70? The Switch Pro controller. Those controllers have dozens of insanely advanced features baked into them. Like, the touchpad, the haptic feedback, adaptive analog triggers on the DualSense, and a microphone built in and all kinds of stuff. And then on the Switch Pro controller, you still have HD rumble, you have NFC built in, gyro motion controls built in, all kinds of stuff on both those controllers that is modern, very advanced stuff, understandable price. I mean, not really, but, still, it makes sense why those are premium. This is just a normal controller as far as I know. There are no unique features about it. It's just a fine-looking controller, and that's it. This could have been released in 2007, and it would probably have cost $50 or something. This is a ripoff, and if the joystick is also $60, that is even worse, because this isn't even a full-on controller. It's just a slab with 2 buttons and a stick. That's not okay. I mean, it looks awesome, don't get me wrong, but if that's $60, which I can't tell if it is, that's a ripoff, and this is also a ripoff for $60. But $300 for the console, maybe that's not so bad. We're going to keep looking. $130 for a hat, though, is not okay. I can tell you that much. Alright, so let's look at the games, because that's really what matters here. So, if we're deciding to get a console for $300, if we're deciding to get a mini PC for $300, we got to decide based on the games for the console aspect, because I already have a computer. So for people who want a computer, maybe we'll look at some reviews of it and see, the specs and stuff, and see if it's any good as a computer. But for now, I want to take one last look at it as a games console, because maybe it has worth in that aspect too. If not, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt and look at it as a PC only. So more games, more fun. So the Atari VCS has games. Tail Gunner by Grizzly Machine. Jetboard Joust. Okay, this looks alright. But where, the big game... Missile Command, that's first party. Where's, a big game? Like a 3D adventure game, Gun Tech. Okay, we already had, a shoot 'em up, though. This just looks like a shoot 'em up, but slow and boring. Well, that's kind of 3D. Heroic Adventure. Okay, here we go. What? What kind of name is that even? Oh, and it's not even 3D? Oh, Ghost of Tsushima? No, it's a cheap-looking fighting game? What? Why would you even render those in... What am I watching? This looks like an iPhone game. These all look like iPhone games. All of them. Oh, you're fighting zombie Hulk Hogan at least. Well, that wasn't a good trailer, but we'll keep looking. Innovative indie games. Okay, let me tell you something. Indie games are usually not innovative at all. Usually they have cool stuff in them. Usually they're better designed than AAA stuff sometimes, but come on. They're not innovative a lot of the time. But, some of them are, so, whatever. Antstream Arcade. None of those did. None of those looked innovative, so I don't know what they're talking about. Antstream Arcade, so they have streaming. That's a big part of theirs, but I hate that, so we're going to ignore that, because game streaming is complete garbage. Even on, PS Now, it's not that good. Flashback Friday. So here's something new. Here's something new that they've added since my last video on this. Atari VCS is a modern game system with the soul of the brand's iconic PCs and consoles. Retro console, arcade, and PC game emulators are baked right into the VCS operating system for seamless play. Okay, that's cool. Atari VCS Flashback Fridays introduce a variety of classic games from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, offering seamless gameplay on your TV with new titles added every week. And they show Food Fight, which is one of my favorite games ever. Definitely the best Atari game ever, in my opinion. That's cool that you can play it on there. So let's look at the games playable now, shall we? So there's Atari VCS Vault. These are on PC. These are on, everything, I think. I think this is just Atari Vault, but branded differently. And the Atari VCS Vault 1 is free. And these are just old games, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, with 100 of the most iconic titles. 14 vintage, Atari arcade games, 16 5200, 12 2600, and 8 prototype and limited edition homebrew games. So that's kind of cool, oddity collection. I don't know if you can get that anywhere else, so maybe that's kind of the seller, but I think you could emulate probably all of these. Recharge, these are just kind of updates of old arcade games. And then Food Fight, Ninja Golf, all these iconic 7800 games are on there. And you can play them, which you can also do on an emulator on your PC, but whatever. Indian retro games, Jetboard Joust, Unsung Warriors, Utopos. So here's the thing. These seem cool. No, they don't, actually. 8-bit action adventure. Okay, we need something that's, big. Skyline Crawler? No. No. There is, seemingly nothing big. No huge system seller. Maybe Dark Side Detective? No. There needs to be something that's a big system seller for this. if they want us to buy it as a game console, but there's not. So it's just kind of, you know? And then there's game streaming, and that's it. And you can become a developer. So here's the thing. As a game console, this is not good. I'm going to be honest. But that's not what we're looking at, so don't get mad, Atari VCS fans. And, you know, you can, here we go. All the Flashback Friday things. These have been released throughout 2021 and 2022, even. So the latest one was released on January 24th, 2022. And I don't know if they're going to do any more, because it's been a while now since then. So, you know, but this is a pretty good lineup. These are most of the big Atari 7800 games. I mean, Food Fight and Fatal Run are really the only two that I care about. So, you know. And then, you know, we're going to look at the reviews now. So here we go. So sleek retro design, tons of games, not really, and loads of functions. That's really what we're looking at. If they're saying this has loads of functions, that's good for me. That's like going to sell me on this thing. If, you know, I'm looking at this from the perspective of a mini PC and it has a lot of functions, well, then that's just awesome. That's something I'm going to want to get. If I didn't have a PC already, I would maybe consider getting this because it looks cool, you know, it's unique, so it might be a cool PC alternative. Although I have a laptop, so I'd have to get like a monitor because this isn't a laptop, it's supposed to be a desktop type thing, but whatever, that's fine. But yeah, so this review is showing loads of functions. That's a good sign. And, you know, I think I might actually try to get one of these. So let's head on to Amazon. And here we go. Atari VCS 800 Onyx base. Currently unavailable. And there are only 2 ratings. One of them is 3-star, one of them is a 5-star. Not the best. All new Atari VCS. Play more, do more. Unique PC mode. Adding Windows or another OS makes Atari VCS a true platform. Play your favorite PC game libraries and apps compatible with most keyboards, mice, and controllers. That's a great sign. You know, but where can I buy it? You know, I'm trying to buy this thing. I'm trying to show all the people who hated my previous videos about this that I've changed, that I'm willing to buy one of these, but it's unavailable. And there are only 2 ratings. And they don't know what's going to be back in stock. But I guess we can take a look at some of the specs here. So, specific uses for product, gaming. That's not a good way to advertise it. It's a Linux operating system. CPU, AMD, RAM memory, installed size and maximum size are 8 gigabytes. Now, I'm not a big computer guy, but I'm pretty sure that's low for a computer. Like, for a phone, I think that's pretty good. But, like, my phone has, I think, 16 gigabytes of RAM or something, 8 or 16, and then my computer has 16 or 32 or 64, I don't know, but it's definitely not 8. It's definitely bigger than 8, and it's like the same price as this, although, no, it's actually a different price because I could actually buy my computer. Maybe it's just because the thing is such a hot item, because there were so many people who watched my previous videos about this. Over like 600 people in total watched those 2 videos. So, you know, it has to be that this thing has just been such a huge, colossal hit and sold so many units that I cannot get my hands on one, like a PS5 or something. Well, let's take a look at the sales. So it is sold. I cannot believe I'm about to say this. This thing has sold an astonishing 10,000 plus units. That is insane. I can't believe I hated on this thing. I mean, I honestly feel really bad now. So anyone watching this who hated those previous videos, I'm really sorry. I'm really, really sorry that you are completely wrong. I mean, come on, look at this. 10,000 units. It's been out for a year. That is pathetic. I mean, I know it's still a niche thing, But that is pathetic. And so why can't I get one? Did they only make 10,000 of these things? Is this meant to be some collector's item? Well, they're advertising it like it's the next generation of Atari. It's not. They were trying to, compete with real consoles. They can't. Even as a mini PC, it's weak. It only has 8 gigabytes of RAM. That's not good, I think. And it's $300, but you can't even find one? That's not good either. And here we go, overly expensive price. Sluggish OS, barren marketplace. But didn't they just say there were tons of games? And yet there's a barren marketplace? Then where are you supposed to buy the games? None of them are physical. What are they talking about? They just contradicted themselves. So even one of the three good things they could say about this thing, one of them is completely wrong. It has a cool design, maybe has loads of functions if you're doing something that only requires 8 gigabytes of RAM, but a barren marketplace completely disproves that there are loads of functions. A sluggish OS kind of ruins a sleek retro design, and an overly expensive price does not justify any, if it's going to be overly expensive, then I'm not going to buy this thing because of the design. I can't even buy this thing if I wanted to. And if we're going to go back to Wikipedia, yeah, IGN gave it a 5 out of 10, which I don't trust IGN, but let's be honest, that's not usually a good sign to get a 5 from them. CG Magazine gave the console generally favorable reviews, but said that its price point is just a bit too high to recommend. So even they knew it was too much. And none of these games, are you really going to play any of these games? Any Pedro fans out there? Huh? Any Sydney Hunter and the Curse of the Maiden fans out there? Any Tailgunner fans out there? Yeah, I met a guy once. I asked him, what is your favorite game of all time? Is it, Mario Odyssey, Horizon Forbidden West, something like that? Something incredible, generation defining? No. He said, Tailgunner. No one's going to say that. I bet none of you have even played these. Any person who's watching this who has a VCS, I bet you haven't even played these things. I bet you haven't even used your VCS in a long time. And if you have, then it probably wasn't for gaming, let's be perfectly honest. Blending the best of consoles and PCs to delight a whole new generation of gamers and creators. No, it is a weak PC for an okay price for a PC, I guess, and a terrible game console that does not at all go into the next generation. At all. It is still stuck in 2001. Everything on here could be achieved back in the GameCube era. None of the games are graphically intensive. None of the hardware is that innovative. Other than the streaming, I guess, it's very backwards. And no one's ever going to use this streaming. Why would you use that? And why would you buy an Atari to use it? If you were going to use streaming, get a Chromecast on your TV. Use it on your phone. Use it on anything. You can literally stream on any device that is made in the last 10 years usually. So why would you buy this thing to do it? Especially if that's the only big supply of games that you're getting. It's a ridiculous ripoff. I can't believe I ever rethought this. This thing is a monstrosity. It is still stupid. And I have not changed my mind on it. Going through everything, trying my hardest to understand this once again for a third time, I cannot physically comprehend why anyone in their right mind who has not gone physically insane and been sent to a state penitentiary has bought this piece of filth. It's terrible. If you like it, more power to you, honestly. But you gotta admit, you kind of made a bad choice with your money. Let's be honest. You could have saved up another $200 and bought a PS5. You could have saved up nothing and bought a Switch or an Xbox Series S even. And even though I hate Xbox, it still has 10 billion times more games than this thing. Yes, I'm actually advising people to buy an Xbox. That is how bad this thing is. I am notoriously known as someone who hates Xbox, and yet I am advising people to buy it over this. That's how bad it is. I rest my case. If you have anything to tell me in the comments about this, go ahead. And let's see if we can get this video to be the first Atari one with more likes than dislikes. The Atari army's probably going to come rushing in. Who knows? Maybe they won't. That might be nice. But we'll see. And if they do, we have to stake into our ground and say no more. And just like the video. And prevent that ratio from going the other way. And there you go. But yeah, I rest my case, everyone. Thank you guys for watching me ramble about this a bit. Be safe, everyone. See you in the next video.